And let's get started with breaking the ice. All right, so I just want to preference
I'm
this
gonna
before
start
I
this off
let.
real quick.
Wait, no, wait. I'm gonna just start this off because
I'm
out of the
ready.
two,
I'm heated, damn it.
wait, out of the two of us, you pay for Xbox Game Pass, or at least you did at one point. And I've never paid for the product, even when it was financially sound, due to the fact that play nothing on Xbox. So I never got the benefit or what was so good about it, about the Xbox Game Pass, even when it first came out. So I just want to preference that you've been a supporter of this product in the past. I'm not saying it was a bad deal in the beginning, but now that it has $30 per month, I am very intrigued on your standpoint now. And have you already canceled, or did you even get to the point where you could cancel because Xbox kind of crashed through all the cancellations? So no further ado, Infamous, tell us your thoughts on this topic.
I told y'all I want the record to be set straight. That I said it here on Are You Not Entertained? That when the bill came due from this Activision Blizzard deal, the kid gloves was gonna come off from Microsoft. They were not gonna play nice, all the consumer friendly shit and shaking hands and kissing babies. I told you all this shit was going to happen. It
Okay,
started
wait.
with the first.
Wait, hold on, because before you get in your shit, before you get in your bag, I also want to point out that you said that a lot of moves that the Activision deal, the Bethesda deal was in support of Game Pass. But now with the current price hike, are they still, I guess my question to you is this still a viable product that Xbox in the next 5 years continues to push? And I won't interrupt you again.
So that you can't give a clear yes no answer to that. And I can break it down because I did my homework. So the first issue, like you said, with the Game Pass and everything, there was one price hike with the consoles, the second price hike for consoles, and now the Game Pass. Xbox is no longer the quote unquote best deal in gaming. Xbox does not run Xbox anymore. Microsoft runs Xbox. $70 billion. That's a lot of money. Your average person cannot quantify, cannot think of $70 billion. Hell, $1 billion is an astronomical amount of money. So you times that times seven, it's like what? So the answer, I'm gonna go in order. I did not cancel my Game Pass yet, only because my child and I have Game Pass, and I need to check and see if it is the same way how it was with me and you. Where as long as he has his account, I'm sorry, my account on his Xbox, is he still given the privileges of everything associated with my account? So I'm looking into that. But as far as everything else, Microsoft does not care about the goodwill, the thoughts, or any of that needs to be made. Plain, simple, and period. And before this huge mergers and acquisitions that was going on, Xbox was playing it safe. They bought a little studio here, bought a little studio there. Everybody was, oh, okay, well, they'll have access to, endless funds, blah, 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 this and that. And then Xbox started to feel themselves, well, we got big dick daddy money. We got Microsoft's money. We can do or buy anything. And that was the rumors and talks that was going on. There was talks that they were going to buy EA. They was looking at buying Sega. They kept proposing like, yo, we need to buy a publisher. We need to buy a publisher because the goal was to take up as much content as possible away from Sony and feed it into Game Pass to attract more and more people. The $70 billion acquisition, it puts such a spotlight on not just Xbox, but Microsoft as a whole. It got Microsoft attention like, yo, why are y'all spending so much money? What are y'all doing? Xbox only equates to 8% of Microsoft's revenue, which ain't a lot if you know how much money Microsoft brings in a quarterly on a quarterly basis. So 8% is, but you spending buku money. So now Microsoft is, hey, we don't care what is done or how it's done. We don't care about physical games. We don't care about console sales. We want you people in our subscription and to stay there. You're gonna like the games we give you. We control it, simple and period. This is no longer about playing nice. This is no longer on, hey, we're going to outdo this with Sony. That doesn't matter anymore because, as we've also stated, puts their games on PlayStation. Whatever brings in, they don't care about anything else. And this goes to show you, as I said before, even though this was about Game Pass, which it still is. They just don't care how it's done now. Call of Duty is there to obtain and hold people. Game Pass is their end game in a sense. Not to make a Marvel movie reference, but that it is what it is. The consoles they have not sold since their blunder in the Xbox One. We've talked about it. Everyone has talked about it. We all know about it. Console sales are down double digits every quarter. Software sales are down continuously, but that's on their fault because they assumed that this Netflix of gaming was going to bring in the masses and it did not. And if they retract first day release thing, a House of Cards will come crumbling and they'll be looked at as liars, pariahs, etc. And it's ridiculous. So now Microsoft has told you all you're gonna pay $650 going on 5-year-old hardware and you're gonna like it. Take Game Pass, whether it's the 10, the 15, or the 30. As long as we got you ecosystem. They're trying to think like Apple right now. And even though Microsoft is a $4 trillion company, they're not Apple. Let's just state that. You join Apple's ecosystem, they make you feel warm and fuzzy and comfortable. You bought their product and it's a long sustaining, long successful. Whereas Microsoft, you had the Microsoft Zune that failed. They tried to be the first with the tablet thing that failed. You could say that was too early or so, but it didn't work. They tried with this online gaming, always online, and the no use games, and every endeavor they have tried to push to control the narrative, they have failed. And now they are just at the point the kid gloves are off. I'm going to show you what we're about. They're betting on your average consumer, the casuals, who don't pay attention to this type of news and everything. They'll get notified and they'll just forget, and you will keep getting charged the $30 a month. $30 times 12 is $360. And I'm sure this is not how people wanted the 360 moniker to come back, but that's what it is. $360 a year for Game Pass. And it is the shadiest shit I have ever seen. When they made the announcement, they started fucking video with the audacity to say, we have heard your feedback and your as if people asked to, hey, let me pay you guys more money. No one asked for this, but they had the audacity to play on the consumer's intelligence. Not only that, PC Game Pass, they made no acknowledgement or announcement that the price was going up by $12 to $16.50. And they talk about giving you options and giving you more. PC Game Pass got nothing. They're just charging you more just because they can. The tiers are broken down in front of you. Essential, 50 games, $10. Premium, 200 plus games. The day ones will come up to a year, possibly, after release, $15. $30, 400 plus games, and day one. But they also added a moniker that a lot of people did not catch. 75 day one games a year. And if you look closely, the asterisk, if you truly paid attention, Call of Duty is excluded from those other tiers unless you have Ultimate. And that's where they're striking. You want to stay on the current new hotness every year, Call of Duty, we want $30 from you. That's 75 games a year first day. Let's be honest and real. That is pure bullshit, smoke up the ass advertising. Because I'm going to tell you here now as well. You're going to hear it first from Infamous. That 75 day one Game Pass games, you'll be lucky if 10% of those are Microsoft first party game studios games. Because they didn't say that. It's right there in black and white. It does not say that in their wording. Those are all first party games. Those will be deals. Go ahead.
Wait. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So you're saying the 75 titles first day games could not be Microsoft first party games?
What they're gonna do is throughout the year, they are gonna supplement third party games to be day one on Game Pass. Go ahead and read the breakdown. It does say 75 day one games. It does not say 75 Microsoft first party studio games. So let's just say, we'll keep it simple. Right now, Hades 2, an indie game, is out on PC and the Nintendo Switch 2 platform. Eventually, it will come to PlayStation and Xbox. When it does, it will be a third party game. Microsoft will pay a studio of a hot game that's coming up like that. Hey, put it day and dates on Game Pass. There have been several games that they have done with that. Not huge, eye-dropping, draw-dropping games, but some things that catch people's attention. Expedition 33 was said day one on Game Pass, and of course, that's a very popular game right now. But that's the example I'm giving to feed that, to make sure they are not sued for false advertisements. And of course, even though they have tons of studios, they do not have juice to squeeze out 75 titles every year from their own people. They will feed that through third party, which will probably be indies, the double A's, and the smaller end games. And when someone complains, they're going to say, well, we never promised first party game. We just said 75, and that's what they're going to do. This is all word salad. This is all playing the people in front of them. And they're hoping no one catches and or pays attention, because on the internet cafe, you have majority of people who have canceled their Game Pass. Good for you. Put your money where your mouth is. Show corporations they are not your friend, that their stocks, their money, their yachts come from you. But not just that. You have some people who have dumbed down their subscription model, but no one has truly paid attention, because a lot of people did not catch that Call of Duty is excluded from the premium. It will never come. You want Call of Duty, you have to have Ultimate. Even the date that it takes effect, November 4th, that's 10 days before the new Black Ops comes out. They know what they're doing by doing it, and it is egregious. That's 3 price hikes in one and or fiscal year, however you want to, from a 4 trillion. It's hard for the mind to wrap around a 4 trillion that makes billions every quarter. They have made record, but because the little kid on the block spent too much of daddy's money, they want that ROI, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get it. Plain, simple. I'm gonna just go off this a little bit more on the Ultimate, because you have some crazy assholes defending the price hike, saying that, oh well, EA plus I'm sorry, not EA, Ubisoft Plus Classic is now introduced. Ubisoft Plus Classic is 15-year-old Assassin's Creed games. If you are that interested in them, just go get you an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One, and they're all damn near a dime a dozen right now. It says Ubisoft Plus Classics, not Ubisoft Plus. So that also means when a new Ubisoft game comes out, you are not getting its day one part of that service. EA Play is included. EA Play does not have or include EA games when they first come out. What they do is they give you I believe it's a 10-hour trial to try the game when it comes out. And if you like it, you can buy it, I believe, at a discount rate. And later on, after they've gotten the money and revenue out of it, then it's added to EA Play, and like, here you go. But it is not day and date. It is not day one. And then, of course, the Fortnite, the Battle Pass crew, whatever the hell it is. I don't know, because I don't play. I'm not a child. I'm not a Gen Alpha or whatever the hell these new people are. But they added that. And to be honest with you, I'm going to go a little bit conspiracy theory here. When Microsoft was buying Activision Blizzard, when the FTC was suing and they went to courts and the trial was going on and all of Microsoft beans got spilled, to appease the judge and other people who did not want the deal to go through, Microsoft broke up and gave the rights to a lot of their streaming services of games and etc. to who? They gave it to Ubisoft. And now, to include Ubisoft Plus into Game Pass, they've risen the price. This is not just greed. This is also to pay off partners. They had to tell the judge, hey, we won't control or have monopoly on game streaming and cloud. We'll send it off to Microsoft. Not Microsoft, I'm sorry, Microsoft. We'll send it off to Ubisoft. And now Ubisoft is a part of Game Pass, bringing it all back in full fucking circle to now EA, Ubisoft, Fortnite, well, Epic Games, and Microsoft will now get a slice of this cheese of this $30 a month. This is nothing more but pure greed, and they think you are stupid and ignorant that you won't match the pieces up together. Because I remember that trial. There were a lot of things exposed, games, business plans, everything. Some have come to fruition. I'm sure a lot of it has not. They had to switch the gears because, the public sector got a hold of something they were not supposed to. But I'm telling you now, you heard it here. I told you all this would happen. I also said when they acquired Activision Blizzard, do not get giddy thinking that all those mass IP vault that Activision have will just get thrown onto Game Pass. And guess what? It has not. Prototype 1 and 2, they are not on Game Pass. The Transformer games, okay, I throw a bone at that. That's a licensed game. The license has expired. So they really can't do that. But if anybody could get Hasbro or anyone to play ball, it's Microsoft. They have the money. Are they going to spend it? Why would we spend the license? Give the consumer what they want. We don't care what they want. We want their money. Many more. Hell, I'll even go simple and easy. All older Call of Duty games are not on Game Pass. They still sell them at a premium. Oh, they did the marketing. Oh, we cleaned up the servers. We got rid of the cheaters, guys. Come on back. Yeah, they did that. And hope the majority of you will buy the game digitally because now that's all money in their pocket and you'll play it. Why would we give it away? This ain't checkers anymore, ladies and gentlemen. This is chess. And they've made their check move and they do not care. Your thoughts, Treese?
Yeah, so I actually have I guess not a polar opposite thought on this price hike, but I think this price hike tell us something different. I mean, not saying that your points are not valid or real, but I just think Xbox and Microsoft have a different outlook for the future. And I've been saying this. I said, yo, outside looks crazy. It looks grimy as hell for gaming and entertainment across the board. And I think this goes back into what I said in previous videos. They are gearing up for hard times and they are squeezing you for every dime that they can while they can for as long as possible before the hard times hit. But before I get too deep in my opinion, I just want to go through some rapid fires and you can just say yes or no to these questions because I just want to make sure your point is totally expressed. In your opinion, is this too steep of a jump in prices for Game Pass?
Yes.
Do you feel that users that has Game Pass, such as yourself, do you feel that they added value to these tiers?
That is subjective, but to keep it simple, yes.
Okay. Interesting. Do you think, and this is, I'm really curious on your thought on this question. Do you think this is going to start driving people to buy games? Not have no subscription, not have none of this bullshit. Like, hey, I'm going into GameStop and I'm going to buy physical game. And even if not physical, digital. Like they want to have some type of ownership of the game. Do you think this is going to drive that?
Yes. Okay, real quick sidebar. It's funny that you mentioned that because I
Mhm.
read an article and someone threw that as a theory
Yep,
that
that and it
because they
this
are
goes into my thought in my opinion, but go ahead.
that because they lost and are bleeding nearly $400 million a year as they keep giving Call of Duty away. Microsoft upstairs has they will not
Mhm.
outright say let Game Pass go. Go ahead. What?
Okay. All right. So next question, I got three more questions. Do you think this is going to affect, and this goes back to I think our topic from last week. Do you think this is going to have a major impact on casual gamers more than hardcore gamers? Because as we know, casual gamers are casual. They're not here for the long haul and the troubled times. So whereas hardcore fans probably will continue to pay for Ultimate at $30 a month, do you think casuals will feel the same way and swallow the price hike?
I'm 50-50, yes and no, but if I had to put a real hard answer, I would say no.
Okay, so next question. Only got two left. Do you
Mhm.
think this price of $30 a month for Game Pass a sustainable price? Like, could people realistically make sense of paying $30 a month for Ultimate Game Pass, or has this probably broken trust too much with the consumers?
It's broken trust too much. And I'm just going to add a small caveat. If they were so bold to raise the price this high, this fast, they're going to do it again. And mark
Mm-hmm.
my words, they will push it to $50 a month sooner
Mm-hmm.
or later.
Mhm.
They will do it.
Yeah, and that kinda goes in my last question. Do you think, which I already know it's a no, do you think Microsoft would kinda walk back or put on their tapping shoes and kinda, if not lower the price, try to add more value to the ultimate, $30 a month? Or do you see them saying, "Hey, in 8 to 9 or even a year from now, another price increase,"
Another price increase?
without
Yes.
adding any value?
Without adding any value? Absolutely yes.
Okay.
Will they try to add no, will they try to add value to satiate and calm the storm?
Okay, so let me preference adding value. Adding real value, not word salad shit. Okay. All right. So that's all the questions that I had. Now I'm going to be quick as possible with my opinion because, I dog Microsoft as a gaming company do under the Xbox name. I've dogged them every episode, every short, everything. I am very hard on especially Xbox and Nintendo because they do slimy stuff. And I feel like this is in line with a lot of the points I made in previous videos of Xbox and Microsoft. And I say this with you made the most brilliant comment ever saying Microsoft is bringing the bill due. They're calling the loan on all the shit and the acquisitions that they done. And they saying, "Hey, we buckling down." Cuz in my opinion, they're gearing up. Every studio, every gaming company is gearing up for something. Now, you can have your own beliefs in what they're doing and all this, but I'm saying the pace that they're increasing games, subscriptions, cost of consoles does not match the increase in people's pay. And they always say your pay is always 4 or 5 years behind the cost of living in real numbers and economics and stuff. And I'm not even trying to go into numbers with you. The rate that gaming and entertainment has increased just in the last 12 months. It's just so unheard of. I'm going to say this, even though you just broke down the deal and all they did with it when they had the little courts and lawsuits and stuff. I think all the previous deal that was in place with Game Pass, with EA and other publishers and other people are over. They're done. So now to keep them somewhat in the ecosystem, Game Pass has to be increased. It just has to because they cannot continue to pay EA whatever price they're now charging probably, especially now that they gotten sold. That's even more indication that whatever previous agreements that Xbox had with EA to have their shit in their ecosystem, I believe is over and it's now being renewed. EA has up the price across the board. Whoever, even indies, because like I said, indie games are getting out of control too. They almost comparable. You're really not that far off from a AAA game. So everybody's price has increased, and now this is just a reflection of the increase. And I'm not saying $30 is a good deal because I don't know. Like I said, I've never paid for Game Pass. It was never appealing to me because Xbox never gave me a reason to play on their console in the first place. So I cannot detest to if this is a good deal or if it's reasonable because if you do $360 divided by 70, which is the game price, that's 5 games per year. So if you gonna play more than 5 games per year, this might still be a deal for you. I can't speak to that. I just know it ain't a deal for me because my Xbox is a paperweight. I just think this is the reflection of the environment. Their content licensings and acquisition costs has pushed Microsoft to say, bitch, we're buckling down. And I told you the only way to get more money is either what? To lower your expenses or increase your profit margins. And I think this is a little bit of mix of both. The content licensing has gone up, so what? They need to increase their profit. Now, a lot of people are in backlash because I can't remember the lady's name now. Forgive me. She stated, "Hey, Game Pass is profitable. Game Pass made $5 billion in revenue and went on this show and said, "Hey, this is a business plan that we're not slowing down on and we're going to continue to push." I say to that, she's a fucking lie. There's no way.
Absolute
She's a
fucking lie.
fucking lie. There's no way Game Pass has been profitable. And you can even, and they don't even really, they really hide the numbers because I try to pull up the financials just on the Game Pass revenue. You really can't even find it. And if you can, hey, post that shit in the comment because I couldn't find it. I think she's a fucking lie. I don't think it's ever been profitable, even off the old numbers and agreements with EA and all the other shit. So now what has happened? EA has been sold. They opened the price. Everybody across the board is upping the price. So now you already had a failing product who was not bringing you profit. You have no choice. You're a forced to up the price. And honestly, I think long term, and somebody else said this too, I think long term, Microsoft don't give a fuck about Game Pass. I think they're letting it go because why? They are in the business now, and you said this, their business model is saying, hey, we want our games everywhere. So why would you push a product to where you basically saying if you buy more than 5 games a year, buy this Game Pass? No, I think they're literally potentially and purposely squeezing every single dollar or nickel or penny out of whoever is willing to pay $30 a month. They're going to squeeze them for as long as possible. Once them people say, nah, this ain't for me, I'm going to go back to buying regular games at regular prices, that's where they going to eat at. Because why? They make more money off games than in consoles. We already talked about that. And now that their games are on all platforms, since that consumer now is going to go buy the game, whether they do, and they more than likely going to pay digitally, which they make more profit off of than physically. I think this is the play. I think they're saying, fuck Game Pass. We're letting that shit go. That shit was never profitable. So now we're going to make sure we make a profit on whoever is willing to pay these prices for this word salad of whatever, because I don't understand anybody who looks at the Ultimate and say, yeah, I want to play 500 games of, Xbox One 360. At that point, what? Once you played it and beat it, it's over. Like, I'm not replaying the same Xbox One and 360 games over and over again. Like, I don't know why anybody would do that, but whatever. If you do, more power to you. So I just think this is a play that they are abandoning Game Pass in the long term. I'm not saying it's going to happen in 2, 3, even 5 years. I think this is a 10-year plan to push people to buying 6+ games a year at $70. And the average game consumer probably buys not even the standard edition. They probably buy the deluxe, try to get something. So they probably spending $100 per game. You do that times 6 to 10 games, you didn't spend $1,000 in games. Why the hell would they even push you to go to Game Pass when they gonna make money off the motherfucking individual game sales? I just think they're abandoning the product because it was never profitable. Microsoft is looking at the books like, nah, bruh, you been in the red too long. They call them the loan. They say, hey, that Activision and that Blizzard and whoever else you bought, nah, we gonna get our money back plus some, and they gonna guarantee it. And this is just how they're gonna shift the mindset of the consumer. Now you gotta look at this point of view that I'm making, not from a consumer. You can't be so emotional in the process of looking at this like this is evil, blah 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 blah. You gotta look at it as if you was the owner of Microsoft and you saw the books and you saw how much red you are with Game Pass, and you go in a meeting and you talk to these Xbox people and you say your job is on the line because we are doing more layoffs. So you better get back in the black some way, somehow. And I'm guessing the people and the head people at Xbox said, hey, that Game Pass is going to be the first one on the chopping block. And whoever's willing to pay these crazy prices, we're going to suck them dry. But what we really want them is to go back to buying 7+ games a year. And we're going to force them one way or another. And the most genius thing about the point I'm making is that the fact that they're going to make money regardless if you buy it on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. Why? Because now Xbox is nothing but a big publisher. They're not in the game to make games, make fun games, and make first party games. Bitch, they're in the publishing game. And I just think, and I could be totally wrong, but I just think if I was the head of Microsoft, what would I do? I'm gonna suck you dry. Not suck you dry, because that's crazy. Talk to the head of Xbox people. I'm saying, hey, you in the red, and you got this amount of time to get in the black. And if you don't get in the black, everybody's getting laid off. I don't care, Spencer. I don't care how long you've been here. You can get got to, and all that bonuses and all the stock bonuses we give you, you can already expect not to get that for the next 3 years if you're not back in the black. I think the head people at Xbox said, "Hey, hold up, because we can't go back in the next quarter with the shareholders, and because they talking about laying off us now. Companies start moving different when the upper management, the upper room people are getting on the chopping block. Oh, they start making move. This is right in line with the moves. Right in line with the moves. Because little Timmy in the cube down the hallway and all his little friends and cliques, oh, they already been laid off. Because Microsoft already did a round of layoffs. They're already gone. Who has the higher salary out of everybody? Who can save the company more money? The upper management people or the little developer data analyst level one? It's the upper people. And I think this is just a reflection of the upper people seeing the writing on the wall, saying, hey, we got to get right. And we got to get right real fast. We got to start showing that we're relevant. And not only are we costing the company money, we're making double the money, triple the money. And you say it's greed, but I just think it's greed in the sense that they're gearing up for something and they threaten people, hey, your job is on the line. In the next 12 months, it's really going to dictate, are you still with this company or not, Spencer? And whoever else that lady was that was lying saying Game Pass was profitable, baby, you can get gone too. Equal opportunity, man and women. We laying off all of them. That's kind of my main thoughts on it. And like I said, I could be totally wrong, but I just think, yeah, I think Microsoft came to Xbox and said, baby, the bills due. We didn't let you run wild with our pocketbook for, shoot, what? They've been buying studios up for 6 years, 7 years? They probably been in the red for 7 years? Oh,
Since
yeah.
2018.
Yeah, yeah.
Since
Oh,
2018. That's when they
oh,
first started buying up studios.
and baby, we gearing up for a recession. No, we gonna make all the money we can while we can before everybody. Cause I'm seeing it like IT layoffs, all the craziness that's happening. They're gearing up. I'm saying, they're setting the precedent. This is the line. This is the minimum amount of money we're gonna make. And so going forward, even if we lose, even if half the subscribers of Game Pass leave, guess what? If they still have some type of console, they gonna buy the fucking game. They're just not gonna have Game Pass, which is what we want anyway. And listen, you could feel like I have my tinfoil hat on, and it's a conspiracy, and this is like seeing a UFO. But baby, let me tell you, the government released files and saying, yeah, aliens are real. So it's not that crazy. I'm saying it's not that crazy. But what are your quick thoughts? Because we've been on this topic for a while. But what are your quick thoughts on the points I've made?
So I'm gonna get this off because you made a lot of great points and you was on a roll. I want to cut you off. The lady that you're talking about, her name is Sarah Bond, the little
Sarah
black lady with
fucking
the
Bonds.
smile and the hair.
Yes. Yes, the African American. That's why I said it's equal
Yes,
opportunity, baby. Your job is on the line too.
that's one.
I don't even trust
You hit
Sarah's.
a nerve when you said Phil Spencer can go and whatnot, and it brought up another theory that people have been kicking around, and it's been gaining traction because it seems to make more sense that somewhere after the Blizzard deal, like you said, all this buying, acquisition, everything, someone came and was like, Phil, oh, I'm trying to let Phil, you have spent too much money and too much time, and you have nothing to show for it. You're gonna take a back seat. You no longer determine how and where this ship goes, how it's run,
Hey, go
because
sit your
you don't
ass
pay
down. Go sit your ass down somewhere.
because you don't pay attention to it. But ever since Sarah Bond has come around, you see Phil Spencer less and less
Mm-hmm.
and less. You see her.
Mm-hmm.
You
She
see her
does the
making the
most talking
decisions
when
and
they're
the interviews
together.
and the talks. Yes. And people have theorized that when this console generation is over, Phil Spencer will retire. He will go. They
I
will. They
mean,
won't fire him. They probably give him an
mm,
option like, hey, it's like PlayStation. Let Jim Ryan retire after his blunders and all the online live service fuck ups and spending nearly $4 billion on Bungie that has not done anything well. They're like, hey man, you're gonna take a step back.
mhm.
Sarah,
Go sit
Sarah
your
may
ass
be the
down.
president, and technically, she is under you. She will do the day-to-day talk. She will
Mhm.
do the interviews, and she is the one who will
She gonna
make the
answer these
choices.
questions
You
and
are
she gonna
just
start
now.
telling these lies.
Absolutely. You are the face of Xbox because you are the one the community looks forward to. You have cultivated the Xbox audience after the Don Matrick blunder. So you are who they look forward to. But
Mhm.
you don't make choices anymore. That's one. You made another point point with the EA thing and them being purchased. I totally forgot about this, but people, if you all don't pay attention to gaming slash entertainment news, I know I listen to news every day. Ubisoft is in hot shit water.
Mm-hmm.
There are rumors that there are companies swirling to try to
Mm-hmm.
do another hostile takeover
Yep.
like Vivendi did many years ago because their
Mm-hmm.
stocks are super, super fucking low.
Plummeting.
You
Plummeting.
have them laying off people and their IPs are not hitting anymore. Assassin's Creed is no longer the
It's
juggernaut
a
it used to
it's
be
dead.
15
It's
years.
it's unalive.
And with the cost of everything going up, and of course the T word, and everyone keeps saying, "Well, that's why the price is going up." That's horseshit.
No,
Game
no.
Pass is a digital good. The T word ain't got nothing to do with that.
Mm-mm.
But what you said made me think that Microsoft came, or they came to Microsoft like, "Hey, we got some problems, and if you want us to keep funneling you these IPs or whatever, you need to do X, Y, and Z." And then, as you
Get
said, them execs,
get
Sarah
back in
Bond
the
was like,
black.
"Hey, you know what? All right, we can do that." The prices came through. They
Mm-hmm.
chose to say, "Hey, we're not in this for being nice anymore because we
Mm-mm.
played
Yeah.
hardball. They
Yo.
got us kicked in the teeth. We've been playing nice since Don Matrick, and yeah, people love us, but they ain't buying us. They ain't buying us. So
It's
now
the
it's
it's
all
the
hands
transition.
truly on deck.
Your job is
It
on the line
absolutely
now.
is. And you said that one thing, as you spoke on before, the coming of the storm. Every huge corporation is doing one of three things: mass layoffs, diverting large quantities of resource into AI, or as you said, buckling down the shit to hit the fan in a sense. Because as I said before, they used to say gaming was recession proof because, in hard times or whatnot, spending 15 or $10 at the time, whatever it was, on a movie, 2.5 hours of entertainment. No, that's not cutting it. That ain't cutting it, baby. But now, you spend $60 and you get hundreds of hours of entertainment. Ooh, that really gets you your bang for your buck. I agree with you 100. And I'm pretty sure the Saudis and the other two entities that purchased EA, they probably came to Microsoft like, "Yo, you have been getting over hand over
Mm-hmm.
fist with this company and our IP. And we have been checking the books, and you are being undercharged, and that no longer will be happening. These are our new terms. You can roll with it, or you can let EA Play go off of your platform."
And
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 that was that.
I can already see the comments. Well, the deal won't be finalized to 2027. Baby, if you don't think the organizations that has bought EA hasn't already looked in their books and said, "Hey, you need to start making some adjustments for us for this money to come through." So EA is already adjusting to demands of the new owners now. Do a quick picture. As somebody who wants to sell, you gonna do whatever you need to do to make sure that deal is finalized. So if the new owners say, "Hey, this deal, don't re-up, don't sign no new documents," because baby, we that price is gonna get double, if not triple. And EA probably already broke the news to Xbox, like, "Hey, this is the numbers we looking at," and Xbox like, "Whoa, we already was in the red." So I'm just saying, the dominoes have already starting to fall. Xbox is just slowly, like I said, I think they're trying to transition people to start buying games again at $70, $100 per. So I think they're purposely crashing Game Pass. Now, will that end up being the case? Who
Absolutely.
knows? Who
Absolutely.
knows? I mean, who we can't really tell the future, like you said in one of your questions. You really can't quantify that as of today. Looking on, you can make some predictions because, like I said, $30 per month probably don't make sense for a lot of people. And like I said, I can't tell you if that's a good price because I never paid for Game Pass to begin with. Shoot, where it was $15, $14.99, it was already not a deal for me. So $29.99, it's just never gonna be a deal for me. If this still makes sense to you, especially hit the comments because I'll be very interested in the feedback. If $30 per month for Ultimate Game Pass makes sense for you going forward, 2025. Because like I said, $360 if you buy 6 games per year and you can get them all on your console, it still probably makes sense for you. Because 360 divided by $70 is like 5.1 game. If you buy 6 game in a year that's on Xbox, it probably makes sense for you. Especially, if with this EA Play and Ubisoft and Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know. But yeah, this is just an interesting move. And I just think this is one of many dominoes that will continue to fall. And like we stated, gaming and
Tumble,
entertain
tumble,
yeah, gaming
tumble.
and, entertainment is just becoming so unaffordable. You really gonna have to start the consumers are gonna have to make hard decisions, and I think that's by design. They're gonna say, "Xbox $30?" Like, Disney just raised their prices to $20 per month. They're on par with Netflix, who they was trying to purposely undercut at the beginning. Now they saying, "Oh, we matching." Same, same, same. I mean, if you compare your Disney subscription next to a Game Pass subscription, maybe it's not that unaffordable. I'm very interested in the comments below the video. Like, let me know if it makes sense or if we crazy because, like you said, a lot of people online are defending it. And I even hit the chat when you and our buddy put it in. I said, that's really not, honestly, I thought they would have been, and I said this in the last video, I've been waiting on this Game Pass bubble to burst for the longest. I'm surprised it hasn't been happen. The average game has went from what, 59.99 to 69.99 or whatever it is. Like all the games baselines have risen. So it only makes sense as somebody who would own Microsoft and Xbox. As a consumer, fuck that. I don't care about making sense. But as somebody who has financial interests in Microsoft and Xbox, it only made sense to raise the price because why? The baseline for video game prices has risen. So it only makes sense. And I said that in the group chat. Well, that's really not that crazy. Now the price they increased it, that's up for interpretation and debate. Like I said, Xbox has never been for me. They don't make shit for me. I continue to say in every video, baby, you gotta work for my money. And Xbox has never in the last few consoles worked for my money. So they'll continue to get not a dollar out of me. Yeah, that's all I got for this topic. It's just getting real grimy. I say this every video. It's getting real grimy outside. And it's only gonna continue. But you got anything else to add before I move on?
At this point, I don't know if you looked at the numbers on how much they are truly, truly losing, and it's hard. I'm gonna add Microsoft is very slick because they go through the utmost to make sure you do not know how much they are
Oh,
failing at this
yes.
quote unquote
Yes.
fix of
I
game.
I tried to
But it
find the
has been
numbers.
said
Couldn't.
they are losing. It's been said by many different outlets, journalists, reporters, etc., whoever you want to call, that they lost almost $400 million because they chose to give Call of Duty rather than charge for. And
Mhm.
somewhere along Microsoft, and I'm going to say this: Satya Nadella is the CEO of Microsoft. That is the parent company of Xbox. He has been very, very generous up until now. Xbox's shenanigans.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
him who said, hey, that exclusive shit, I don't like that. Why would you limit a product to one thing when you can have it everywhere and make more money? It was him who made the choice. Our games are going everywhere. We're not holding back. How do you make money in this rising cost of everything if it's just only here? I'm pretty certain it was him who looked at everything and said, this Game Pass thing is not sustainable. Sarah Bond, you are a bold-faced liar because people are coming at her on the internet saying, if you look at the words she says, profitable. They always said Game Pass was sustainable. They never said, and in her statements in that interview, she said Game Pass generated $5 billion in revenue. She did not say $5 billion in profits.
Yeah. Yeah, very
Revenue
key
and profit
word.
are two completely different things.
Mhm.
But to not drag this out, I 100% agree with you because it has been stated online. Microsoft is turning the tide. They don't care about Game Pass no more. That failed. They are not going to reach 50 million. They have not reached 50 million. It's not going to happen. They need to hard course correct. We as the consumers need to go back to buying video games because that's where majority of their money they've made for Call of Duty came from the people on PlayStation buying the game. Xbox, they feel, oh, well, why buy anything? It'll just come to Game Pass. And that's Microsoft's fault. And now they're like,
Yeah.
no, you fucking people need to buy these games again. We're going to raise prices so astronomically, you're going to leave this fucking service. You're going to go back to buying them. And trust me, I'm going to say this too before we move on. They will come back for that $80 price tag on game. They walked it back once because, well, one, the game they chose to do it on was a terrible choice. But trust and believe me, they are going to come back. And this time they will start with Call of Duty. You want the hottest and latest Call of Duty experience? You will pay $80. They are going to do it. They did it once. They will do it again. I'm done with that. You want to move on?
And final comments from me is that if you see what they doing and how they moving now, just wait till that 10-year contract is up with Sony and Nintendo.
Oh,
Oh
baby.
my God. When I
Oh,
said, like I
man.
said in my
I totally forgot
fucking,
about that one.
like I fucking said in the old video, bitch, they gonna come and say, hey, you gonna write us a blank check to keep this. Yeah, you thought that 10-year? Oh, we was calculating interest, and you gonna write us a blank check to keep this. Xbox is gearing up. They trying to
Absolutely.
stronghold people, and they don't give a fuck about Sony and Nintendo because why? Call of Duty is such a printing making money machine that Nintendo and Sony ain't gonna have no choice. They ain't gonna have no choice but to give them people a blank check to keep that.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?